The story begins with Max astray, dog wandering the streets of a small, rain-soaked town. Max is a scrappy, medium-sized mutt with a patchy coat and a limp from an old injury. He's been on his own for as long as he can remember, surviving on scraps and the occasional kindness of strangers. Tonight the streets are eerily quiet, the only sound the patter of rain and the distant hum of cars. As Max crosses a dimly lit road, a speeding car appears out of nowhere. The headlights blind him, and before he can react, the car strikes him. The impact sends him tumbling onto the asphalt, his body racked with pain. The car doesn't stop. Max tries to stand, but his legs won't obey. He collapses, blood pooling beneath him, his breaths shallow and labored. Max lies by the roadside, his vision blurring as the rain washes the blood from his fur. He watches as cars pass by, their headlights cutting through the darkness. Some slow down, but none stop. Max's thoughts drift to his life as a stray, the cold nights, the hunger, the fleeting moments of warmth when someone would offer him food or a gentle pat. He wonders if this is how it ends. Alone and forgotten. Hours pass. The rain stops and the night grows colder. Max's body begins to shut down, but his will to survive keeps him clinging to consciousness. He hears footsteps approaching and lifts his head weakly, hoping for help. Instead, he sees a shadowy figure standing over him, a man with hollow eyes and a cruel smile. The man kneels down, his breath reeking of alcohol, and whispers, "You're not worth saving." Just as Max's hope fades, a pair of headlights pulls over. A woman steps out of the car, her face illuminated by the glow of her phone. She gasps when she sees Max and rushes to his side. Her name is Clara, a nurse on her way home from a late shift. Clara kneels beside Max, her hands trembling as she assesses his injuries. She knows he's in critical condition, but she can't leave him to die. Clara carefully lifts Max into her car, wrapping him in a blanket. As she drives to the nearest animal hospital, Max drifts in and out of consciousness, his mind filled with fragmented memories of his life on the streets. He senses Clara's kindness and clings to it, a faint spark of hope igniting within him. The animal hospital is a sterile, fluorescent-lit place that smells of antiseptic and fear. Clara stays by Max's side as the veterinarians work to stabilize him. The prognosis is grim: multiple broken bones, internal bleeding, and a high risk of infection. The vet suggests euthanasia, but Clara refuses. She insists on giving Max a chance, even if it means paying for his treatment out of her own pocket. Max undergoes surgery, his body frail but resilient. As he lies in recovery, Clara visits him daily, bringing him food and speaking to him in a soft, soothing voice. Max begins to trust her, his fear of humans slowly fading. But the hospital is not a safe place. At night, strange noises echo through the halls, whispers, footsteps, and the sound of something scratching at the doors. One night, Max awakens to find the hospital eerily quiet. The lights flicker, and the air grows cold. He sees shadows moving in the corners of the room, their shapes shifting and twisting. A low growl emanates from the darkness, and Max's instincts scream at him to run. But he's too weak to move. The shadows coalesce into a figure, a monstrous, dog-like creature with glowing red eyes and jagged teeth. It stalks toward Max, its breath hot and rancid. Max tries to bark, but no sound comes out. Just as the creature lunges, Clara bursts into the room. Flipping on the lights. The shadows vanish, but the sense of dread lingers. Clara notices Max's distress and stays with him through the night. She confides in him, sharing her own struggles, her loneliness, her fear of failure, her guilt over not being able to save every patient. Max listens, his bond with Clara deepening. Max's physical wounds begin to heal, but the psychological scars remain. He has nightmares of the accident and the shadowy creature, waking up in a panic. Clara takes him home, determined to help him recover fully. Her small apartment becomes a sanctuary for Max, filled with warmth and the scent of home-cooked meals. But the shadows follow them. Strange things start happening in the apartment, objects moving on their own, whispers in the dead of night, and the feeling of being watched. Clara dismisses it as stress, but Max knows better. He can sense the presence of the creature, its malevolence growing stronger. Clara discovers an old journal in her apartment, left behind by the previous tenant. The journal tells the story of a dog that was abused and abandoned by its owner, only to die in a hit-and-run on the same road where Clara found Max. The writer, a self-proclaimed psychic, claims that the dog's spirit became a vengeful entity, haunting those who failed to save it. Clara realizes that Max's presence has awakened the entity, and it sees him as a kindred spirit. The creature wants Max to join it, to become part of its vengeful act. Clara is determined to protect Max, but she knows she can't fight the supernatural alone. Clara and Max return to the roadside where the accident occurred, hoping to confront the entity and put its spirit to rest. The night is thick with fog, and the air is heavy with tension. The creature appears, its form more terrifying than ever, speaks to Max in a guttural voice, urging him to embrace his pain and anger. But Max refuses. He barks defiantly, his loyalty to Clara stronger than his fear. Clara recites a prayer she found in the journal, her voice trembling but resolute. The creature howls in rage, its form dissolving into smoke. The fog lifts and the road is silent once more. Max and Clara return home, the bond between them unbreakable. Max's physical and emotional scars begin to heal, and he finds a new sense of purpose as Clara's companion. Clara, too, finds solace in Max's presence, her loneliness eased by his unwavering loyalty. In the final scene, Max sits by the window, watching the world outside. He sees a stray dog wandering the streets and barks softly, as if to say, "Hold on. Help is coming." Clara joins him, her hand resting on his head. Together, they look out at the road, knowing that while the past can't be changed, the future is theirs to shape.